Exclusive contract from Feilu Novel Network Novel. Siheyuan. At the beginning, Jia's family robs the house and scolds the thief. Tang Xiangyang traveled through the 1960s and became the head of the safety department at the steel rolling mill. On the first day of reporting to the courtyard, it collided with the Jia family living in their own house. Not only that, but Tang Xiangyang also pointed at himself and scolded the thieves. Tang Xiangyang couldn't stand them, so he began to engage in a battle of wits and courage with the birds. Never be lenient in the face of birds. Moral kidnapping. Don't listen. Want to take action? Go straight back. Dare to steal things. I will educate you directly for your parents. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. Familiar house numbers. You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. In 1966, 49 cities. Tang Xiangyang knocked on the neighborhood committee office and walked in. Hello comrade, I am Tang Xiangyang. Tang Xiangyang introduced himself to Director Sun in the office. Oh, hello, comrade Tang. I received a notification from my superiors a long time ago. Welcome. Director Sun, I wonder what my work schedule is. The superior has arranged everything for Comrade Tang. Comrade Tang, you are already the head of the safety department at the Red Star steel rolling plant. The accommodation has also been arranged. After Director Sun finished speaking, Tang Xiangyang nodded. I don't know where my accommodation is being arranged. There are 2 empty rooms in the Red Star courtyard at Zizaman in Nanluoga Lane. Red Star courtyard. Tang Xiangyang frowned slightly when he heard the address and name of his residence. This name is very familiar, but I didn't remember it for a moment. Where did I hear this name before? Tang Xiangyang inexplicably felt a bad feeling in his heart. Comrade Tang. Are you okay? Director Sun was still waiting for Tang Xiangyang's response, but found the young man stunned. Curious, he spoke up and asked. Oh, I'm fine, Director Sunday. I just thought of something. It's good if it's okay. Comrade Tang is new here and there must be many aspects he's not used to. By the way, Director Sun, I wonder where the location of the Red Star courtyard in Nanluoga Lane is. Tang Xiangyang regained his senses and looked a bit awkward. Oh my, look at my brain. I forgot Comrade Tang, you just came to 49 cities and are not familiar with the situation here. Alright, I'll take you over and recognize the way. Director Sun patted the forehead and smiled. I didn't explain it clearly, thank you very much, Director Sunday. Tang Xiangyang spoke politely and had a good attitude, and Director Sun had a good first impression of him. After a moment, the two of them walked slowly along the streets of 49 cities. Occasionally, people greet Director Sun on the road. Director Sun responded one by one. Tang Xiangyang observed along the way and had his initial impression of this place. A few minutes later, the two stopped at the entrance of a courtyard house. Here we are, this is the Red Star courtyard. Comrade Tang, your residence is in the last 2 empty rooms of this courtyard, so I won't go in. 2 people stood at the entrance of the courtyard, Director Sun introduced. Thank you very much, Director Sunday. Tang Xiangyang smiled and thanked Director Sun, watching him leave before turning to look at the door in front of him. The house number reads 21, Nanluoga Lane. Damn it, I just feel like I've heard it somewhere before. At the gate of the quadrangle, Tang Xiangyang looked at the familiar number and roast in his heart. His face was speechless. He doesn't even know what to say. What kind of luck is this? Birds fill the courtyard. It's indeed here. Tang Xiangyang has seen this name countless times in his past life. It is a scene from a TV drama that he remembers deeply. As a traveler, Tang Xiangyang is very familiar with the situation in the courtyard. At the thought of facing a group of beasts, Tang Xiangyang felt his head explode. Firstly, there is an old man named Yi Zhonghai, who holds a high position in the courtyard as an 8th-level fitter at the Red Star steel rolling plant. This person looks like a kind old man on the surface, but behind the scenes, he is actually a cunning villain. For the sake of his retirement, everything is done to the extreme. Next is the second uncle Lu Haizhong, who holds only the 2nd rank in the courtyard. Second grandpa is an official fan and never misses any opportunity to climb up. Unfortunately, this person is illiterate and doesn't even know a few words, so it's impossible. As for the third master Yan Bugue, he is a teacher of the people. As the saying goes, people's teachers should serve as role models. As taught by Yan Bugue, he is usually like an iron rooster to everyone. Behind the scenes, he keeps calculating things all day, even his biological son is not spared. Tang Xiangyang was also deeply impressed by the deaf old lady in the courtyard, and the term mature and refined is a perfect description of her. Thinking of the deaf old lady, Tang Xiangyang's mind flashed with the name of another old lady. Jia Zhang, a famous rolling knife meet in the courtyard. Everyone hates this person very much. Qin Huairu, the pioneer figure in the green tea industry and the recipient of the Little Golden Award. The son of Qin Huairu, also known as the famous white-eyed wolf Jia Zhen. There is also a chef named He Yuzhu, who is nicknamed Silly Zhu. This person is devoted to Qin Huairu. Helping someone raise their son, willingly sucking blood from this top-notch green tea, but in the end, they didn't catch anything. Su Damao, a petty person who always seeks revenge. Whoever offends him will be remembered by him for a lifetime, constantly thinking of revenge. Su Damao is still a good hand at stepping on high and holding low, coveting Qin Huairu. A series of characters in the courtyard flashed through Tang Xiangyang's mind. He was just about to step inside, suddenly, a strange mechanical sound rang out in my mind. Ding! Host detected to reach designated check.in location. The system is starting up, please wait for the host. Congratulations on successfully activating the host. This system is called the Monopoly Check-in system. A series of mechanical sounds kept ringing in Tang Xiangyang's mind. The explosion made his head dizzy, thinking he was dreaming. Monopoly Check.in system. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 2. Newcomer Gift Pack. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Tang Xiangyang felt a surge of excitement in his heart. Yes, as long as the host is in the courtyard, they will receive a check.in reward. Today, the host successfully checked in for the first time, and the system has been loaded. The host will receive a beginner's gift package. Newcomer Gift Pack. What's inside? Please confirm whether the host will receive or not. Receive. Tang Xiangyang made a choice without even thinking about it. Great, it's been 2 years now, but I've been waiting for it. I just said, as a time traveler, how could you not have a system? Congratulations to the host for making the right choice. Please check your account carefully. Tang Xiangyang just uttered 2 lines of emotion, but was mercilessly interrupted by the system. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a full-level human body transformation pill. Zhang Sanfeng, the master of Tai Chi, can become a master-level master of Tai Chi by swallowing the memory capsule. A mobile warehouse with an area of 150 cubic meters. Except for living organisms, any other items can be stored freely and can be upgraded to a certain extent. Kind reminder. Due to limited space in the mobile warehouse, please store your items reasonably, otherwise it may lead to a warehouse explosion. The mechanical sound kept ringing, introducing a series of precautions for Tang Xiangyang. Tang Xiangyang couldn't help but twitch at the corners of his mouth and felt speechless in his heart. But he also understands that the system sends out good things, it is to enable him, a time traveler, to live a good life in the world of this film and television drama. So he does whatever the system says. 5 pieces of great unity, 20 pieces of steel making, 10 pieces of turning workers, 15 pieces of tractors, 20 pieces of textile, and 20.5 pieces of bridge. 200 in total. Damn it, this is too user-friendly. These are all currencies used in the 1960s. After the mechanical sound fell, Tang Xiangyang became even more excited. He didn't expect the system to be so generous, giving him 200 yuan as soon as he made a move. A person who owned 200 yuan in the 1960s could be considered a true millionaire. Excited, Tang Xiangyang finally noticed the other 2 things. Full-level human body transformation pill, a vermilion pill lying quietly in the system backpack. What's the use of this thing? Tang Xiangyang's eyes were full of doubt. Hold it in your hand, think for a moment, and throw the pill into your mouth. Before he could react, the pill had already entered his body through his throat. In the next moment, Tang Xiangyang felt his blood burning all over him, and his whole body was filled with strength. Clear and refreshing, with clear ears and eyes. System, I feel like I'm running 10 kilometers in one breath. Cough, congratulations on the completion of the host's body transformation. You are already a full-level human. The strength and speed are 100 times stronger than ordinary people, but as the host, you have all the strength and your mind hasn't changed much. When the mechanical sound fell, Tang Xiangyang couldn't help complaining about it. Are you saying that my limbs are well-developed and my mind is simple? I'm telling you, my brain is not something that ordinary people can compare to. Cough, can the host not be so narcissistic? After the system finished speaking, Tang Xiangyang was stunned, suspecting that the system was a person. Otherwise, how could they say the word narcissism? Tang Xiangyang did not continue to gossip with the system, but instead turned his gaze to the capsule in another grid. Is this the memory capsule of Tai Chi Master Zhang Sanfeng? During his speech, Tang Xiangyang picked up the capsule and threw it into his mouth. This time, the capsule did not enter the throat, but melted directly in the mouth. At the same time, Tang Xiangyang felt that there was a lot of content in his mind. It is precisely the techniques of Tai Chi that even include coping strategies. The content of Tai Chi techniques is deeply engraved in Tang Xiangyang's mind. After absorbing the contents of the memory capsule, Tang Xiangyang glanced at the mobile warehouse following him. The currency mentioned by the previous system is quietly lying in the corner of the warehouse. At this moment, the third master Yen Bugue walked over with a water ladle in his hand. The third master lived in the front yard and saw Tang Xiangyang's unfamiliar face. He stood at the entrance of the courtyard and curiously approached. Young man, you're looking for someone who doesn't look good, are you looking for someone? The voice of the third master pulled Tang Xiangyang back to reality. Tang Xiangyang recognized the person in front of him with just one glance. Calculate the 3 masters of everyone. At this moment, the 3 masters in Tang Xiangyang's mind overlapped with the person in front of him. I'm not looking for anyone. My name is Tang Xiangyang and I live here. This is a certificate issued by the neighborhood committee. Oh, it turned out to be a family. The young man looks very energetic. After Tang Xiangyang finished speaking, the third master raised a friendly smile and said. Okay, thank you, old comrade. I'll go take a look at the house now and chat when I have time. Tang Xiangyang didn't want to have much contact with this kind-hearted and cunning old man. After a few perfunctory sentences, he lifted his leg and walked towards the depths of the courtyard. Quickly arriving at the courtyard, Tang Xiangyang saw a very wealthy-looking little old lady leisurely sunbathing, busy with needles and thread in her hand. The little old lady heard footsteps, looked up, and was taken aback when she saw Tang Xiangyang, a stranger. Tang Xiangyang had already recognized the little old lady as Jia Zhang. He doesn't want to deal with this person even more. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 3. Occupy my room and call me a thief. You are listening at novel full.audio. Tang Xiangyang only glanced at Jia Zhang and then lifted his leg to continue walking inside. When he entered the backyard, Jia Zhang's voice rang from behind. He looks like 5 people and 6 people, so he turns out to be an uneducated person. Although Jia Zhang's voice was small, it could not escape Tang Xiangyang's ears. Tang Xiangyang ignored it directly, and now he had already stood in front of his 2 rooms. What he didn't expect was that the empty house should have been locked up. At this moment it was open, and there were still figures shaking inside. Tang Xiangyang felt a wave of doubt in his heart, as Director Sun had specially given him the key before. Isn't it an empty house? The doors are all open, and the key in my hand can't be used anymore. At the next moment, Tang Xiangyang came to the door and looked inside clearly. There is a woman holding a broom sweeping the floor. The room is filled with various items. Watching this scene full of vitality, Tang Xiangyang realized something. Hello comrade, does this house belong to you? The woman in the room heard the sound and turned her head to look at Tang Xiangyang. Yeah, hey. Who are you? Do you look unfamiliar? At this moment, the woman had already turned around, and Tang Xiangyang could see her clearly. I have a great figure, not as skinny as a stick, but as healthy and slightly chubby. But it's just right for women. And the woman's face, in this era of material scarcity, can be considered very delicate. From the perspective of Tang Xiangyang, a traveler, one cannot help but admire the beauty. The woman's resolute tone made Tang Xiangyang think he had found the wrong place. He instinctively looked up at the sign and confirmed that this was the residence arranged for him by the neighborhood committee. Are you sure the house belongs to you? Tang Xiangyang sneered and asked. Is it necessary to ask? Of course, this house belongs to our family. Qin Huairu responded angrily at this moment. Comrade, let me ask another question and leave directly. Tang Xiangyang didn't care either and said. What question? Hurry up and ask, I still have to work. Qin Huairu said impatiently. How long have you been living in this house? I've been living here all along. Hurry up, if you don't leave again, I'll have someone drive you away. What's going on? What's the noise about? Outside the courtyard, Jia Zhang heard the noise and walked over shouting. Yeah. Why are you standing at my doorstep? What do you want to do? Do you want to steal something? Alright, so you're a thief. Hurry up, come and catch the thief. You're too brave to run to our yard and steal things. Jia Zhang's shouts startled everyone in the courtyard. A moment later, the backyard was filled with people. What's wrong with Jia Zhang? Everyone is still busy. Oh, who is this person? The people in the courtyard have all lived together for many years, and they are very familiar with each other. Suddenly, a strange face appeared, and the people in the courtyard were very curious. He is a thief, standing at my doorstep and chasing after my daughter.In.Law to ask questions. He must be thinking about my things and trying to steal them. Comrade, this is not right. How could you do this? Yeah, this young man looks very energetic. How could he do such sneaky things? Look, he's holding so many things in his hand, maybe he stole them from somewhere. At first glance, it looks like he's a habitual thief. We can't get used to him. Hurry up and report it to catch him, save the trouble. In my opinion, it's okay to report it. Let's kick it out first. After all, we don't have any evidence and can't talk nonsense. Get out of here. The people in the courtyard were full of gossip, pointing at Tang Xiangyang, an outsider, and shouting loudly. As for the Jia Zhang family, seeing that their neighbors were very united, they immediately felt a lot of confidence. Although she was a small old lady, her waist straightened and she was pulled up 1 centimeter. "Did you hear me? Get out of here, kid. Next time, if you dare to stand at someone else's door and break your leg." Jia Zhang scolded all at once, with a very arrogant attitude. Tang Xiangyang looked at the faces of these beasts and felt a wave of resentment in his heart. Sure enough, they are all beasts. These people, even though they have no reason, are still so straightforward and resolute. According to Tang Xiangyang's understanding of this film and television drama, Qin Huiru said she has lived here since getting married. She has lived here for at least 10 years. Thinking of these, Tang Xiangyang does not intend to spend too much time with these people. "Okay, I'm leaving now." Before he could finish speaking, Tang Xiangyang turned around and left. As I walked out of the backyard, I happened to meet the third master again. Tang Xiangyang saw the other party and nodded as a gesture of greeting. "Hey, comrade Tang Xiangyang, have you finished packing up so quickly?" The third master arrived late. "I don't know what happened here." Jia Zhang quickly said, "Do you know this person, third master? He is a thief, and you actually know this kind of person. You need to see clearly in the future, you can't just put anyone inside casually." At this moment, Tang Xiangyang had already walked away and headed straight to the neighborhood committee, so I didn't hear what Jia Zhang and Sandy said. Bad thing. Before Jia Zhang could continue speaking, the third master slapped his thigh and exclaimed in surprise. "Ah! What did you do wrong?" Jia Zhang looked confused upon hearing this and asked. "That little comrade just now was not a thief. He was arranged to live in our courtyard by director's son of the neighborhood committee. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 4. Panic. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ah. You're not joking, third master. Jia Zhang refused to believe and asked in surprise. How could I be joking? Just now, I saw with my own eyes the introduction letter in the young man's hand, which was stamped with the official seal of the neighborhood committee. So, where does this person live? After the third master finished speaking, Jia Zhang realized what he was asking. He lives in the 2 rooms where your daughter.in.law lives. You guys didn't even ask clearly, they kicked the person out and even called someone a thief. I'm not listening right. Come and take a look, it's still too late. Oh, what should I do then? At this moment, Jia Zhang was in a panic. The person holding the neighborhood committee introduction letter was not easy to provoke. Besides, those 2 rooms are indeed not hers. But she knocked on the door lock and secretly stayed inside. If it weren't for this, I wouldn't have married the beautiful woman Qin Huiru back then. As for the neighbors of the courtyard house, they all know about this matter. Jia Zhang tried to block the mouths of these people, making them turn a blind eye and not miss anything. In her opinion, in a courtyard, as long as the 3 masters have no objections, it is even less likely that others have objections. So those 2 rooms, one occupied for 10 years. Over time, Jia Zhang himself also regarded those 2 rooms as his own. Find Grandpa 1 and Grandpa 2 and ask them to come up with a solution. The news of those 2 rooms being occupied cannot be spread. At this moment, the third master's forehead was sweating with anxiety. Because he had already realized that young man Tang Xiangyang had also realized that his house had been occupied. Once this matter is exposed, all 3 masters in the courtyard will have to follow suit. Before the third master could finish speaking, Jia Zhang had already run out. Despite being a wealthy old lady, she is now sprinting at a speed of 100 meters. I ran away without a trace. The distance between Siheyuan and Hongqing steel rolling plant is about a 20-minute walk. Jia Zhang was anxious and his short legs were flipping rapidly. In just 11 minutes, he rushed into the safety department of the steel rolling mill with a gasping breath. An old man is holding a part in his hand for further processing. At this moment, the sound of footsteps came. The old man looked up and saw that it was a person from the safety department. Master Yi has something to do with you. What's up? Yi Zhonghai asked in surprise. There is a young lady in the safety department who said it's Jia Zhang from your hospital. She said something big happened in the hospital and asked you and Lu Haizhong to go back and handle it. After the person in the safety department finished speaking, Yi Zhonghai thought to himself, at this time, everyone in the courtyard is old, weak, sick, and disabled. Chuan laboring is all at work, what can happen? I see. I'll ask the director for leave and then go to the factory gate. I'll go call Lu Haizhong, and you'll meet at the factory gate. After a while, Yi Zhonghai and Lu Haizhong met Jia Zhangshi in the safety department. Jia Zhang is like an ant on a hot pot, constantly pacing and anxious. What exactly happened in the courtyard? Yi Zhonghai asked. Yeah, sister.in.law, what's so urgent? We're still at work. Lu Haizhong also asked from the side. Oh my, his first and second grandfathers have had a big deal. Jia Zhang exclaimed in surprise when she saw the person coming. Just now a young man came to the courtyard and headed straight to the backyard. When he saw my daughter.in.law, he kept asking endless questions. We thought he was a thief and said some unpleasant things, driving him away. Unexpectedly, the young man had just left when the third master came over and said that the person was a newcomer to the courtyard, and that the house was just those 2 rooms. Jia Zhang spoke so much in one breath, explaining the situation clearly. She realized for the first time that her mind was so clear. That's it, you guys didn't ask clearly and drove the person away. You're offending people to death. Jia Zhang explained clearly, and Lu Haizhong had a worried expression on his face, feeling extremely anxious and scolding. At this moment, he regrets it again. He shouldn't have kept this matter hidden for that little thing. Alright, let's go back and see the situation first. The first master is much calmer than the other 2, he said. He's an old man, you have to help me. We've been neighbors for so many years. On the way back to the courtyard, Jia Zhang felt uneasy and begged. The old man remained expressionless and speechless, feeling anxious as he walked much faster than usual. Quickly, the 3 of them returned to the courtyard. Grandpa, what do you think we should do about this? The third master Yan Bugue saw the 3 people and approached to ask. I heard that's a young man. The old man continued to ask. Yes, I said a few words to him. That person is indeed young, but I don't think it's easy to get along with. Having been scolded by so many people just now, that young man turned around and left without saying a word. If it were an ordinary person, they would have been unable to resist hitting someone. At this moment, people are being kicked out by us. Once it spreads, we in the courtyard cannot be human anymore. What else can we do? They're taking control. After hearing this, the old man let out a light sigh and responded. The Jia family knows that the house is not theirs, and if they occupy it, it will last for 10 years. At this moment, Qin Huairu heard the commotion and leaned in. Grandpa, do you think the Jia family has been occupying that house for 10 years? My daughter.in.law is going back to cook, it's none of your business, Jia Zhang hurriedly said. Qin Ming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 5. Reporting. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Qin Huairu looked at the few people with a puzzled expression on her face. She always thought those 2 rooms were hers. Qin Huairu is not a fool. With just a few words from a few people, she guessed something. The people in the courtyard have been keeping it from her all along. Why don't you go back quickly? Jia Zhang saw that Qin Huairu was about to break the clay pot and inquire to the end. She became anxious and shouted angrily. Alright, sister.in.law, just tell her. An old man stood on the side and couldn't bear to watch anymore, persuading. At this point, there is no point in continuing to conceal anything. Actually, those 2 rooms are not from your family. It's just that when you got married, our family conditions didn't allow it and we borrowed them for so many years. An old man glanced at Qin Huairu and told the truth. And the young man who came here is the owner of these 2 rooms. You called him a thief and even drove him out. That person came over with a letter of introduction from the neighborhood committee. It's not easy, this is going to be a big deal. Ah. Grandpa, you said this house doesn't belong to the Jia family. The words of an old man made Qin Huairu feel as if she had been struck by lightning. It was because the Jia family had many houses that they agreed to marry over. After so many years, I suddenly told her that the house was not hers. This makes her unable to accept it no matter what. Grandpa, do you want us all to squeeze together? I still have one in my stomach. Qin Huairu became more and more excited as she spoke, and in the end, it turned into a roar. She never expected that the peaceful days would be disrupted. Woo-woo, who can tell me what I should do? After roaring, Qin Huairu burst into tears of grievance. The appearance of pear blossoms with rain made the several gentlemen present feel unbearable. Jia Zhang looked impatient and pointed at Qin Huairu, shouting angrily. Just crying. I'm not dead yet, you bereaved star. My son was killed by you. Do you still want to kill me? Hurry up and go back, don't embarrass yourself here. My mother.in.law got angry, and Qin Huairu didn't dare to cry anymore. She turned around and hid inside. In this era, there is no such thing as divorce. The water splashed out by the married daughter. A divorced woman with 2 children will have her spine broken by someone. Besides, the Qin Huairu family is from the countryside. If she gets divorced, she will have to return to the countryside. The environment of this quadrangle, no matter how bad, is much stronger than that of the countryside. She's not that foolish. Go back to the countryside and wait to starve to death. The old man thought for a moment, but didn't come up with any good solution. I suggest waiting for the people from the neighborhood committee to come and bidding farewell. It would be best if this matter could be resolved in the courtyard. At the same time, Tang Xiangyang went to the neighborhood committee and searched around but couldn't find Director Sunday. He just slapped his forehead and remembered, Director Sun said before that if there is anything, please handle it. It seems that I won't be able to come back for a while. Unable to return to the courtyard, Tang Xiangyang had to carry large and small bags to the steel rolling mill. 10 minutes later, Tang Xiangyang arrived at the entrance of Hongqing steel rolling plant. As soon as the gatekeeper saw Tang Xiangyang, he immediately poked his head out. Young man, who are you? You look unfamiliar. Tang Xiangyang will now deliver the introduction letter to the gatekeeper. At the same time, he took out a cigarette box from his pocket and took out a cigarette. The gatekeeper introduced the letter with one hand, then took the cigarette and lit it. Young man, it's not easy. Is it the front door? The gatekeeper took a strong sip and his eyes lit up, exclaiming in surprise. Let me take a look at this introduction letter. After taking a strong taste of the smoke, the gatekeeper opened an introduction channel. Yoha, the head of the safety department, you must be a young man. The gatekeeper was even more surprised after reading the contents of the introduction letter clearly. Tang Xiangyang appears to be only in his 20s, but he is actually a department head. After clarifying Tang Xiangyang's identity, the gatekeeper's attitude became more enthusiastic than before. Alright, go inside and see that office building. The 3rd floor. The factory director's office is right there. The head of the safety department dare not offend casually. The people of Tang Xiangyang are young, but their level is placed here. Besides, there are also security personnel present at the security guard. Thank you, sir. I'll go first. Tang Xiangyang thanked the gatekeeper and was about to walk inside. Hey, Chief Tang, it's inconvenient for you to carry so much luggage. Please leave it with me for now and I'll keep an eye on it for you. You can come and pick it up after you finish the task. Okay, thank you, sir. The gatekeeper happily took the luggage from Tang Xiangyang's hand and watched him enter the office building. Arriving at the third floor, Tang Xiangyang saw signs hanging at the entrance of each office, which was clear at a glance. Immediately, he saw the sign in the factory director's office and waved to him in the wind. It seems like saying, "Come here, come here." Tang Xiangyang walked over and knocked on the office door. Then there was a response coming from inside. Tang Xiangyang pushed open the door and walked in. "Hello, Director Yang." Entering the office, Tang Xiangyang saw Director Yang carefully looking at the documents in his hand. After hearing the sound, I put down the file and looked at Tang Xiangyang. "I am Tang Xiangyang, coming to report." Speaking, Tang Xiangyang handed the introduction letter to Director Yang. "Oh my, Comrade Tang Xiangyang, the person the old leader said is you." Director Yang had already stood up and smiled. "Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 6. Someone lives in the house. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Tang Xiangyang knows who Director Yang is talking about. Take out 2 boxes of cigarettes from your pocket. From the outside, it looks ordinary and even without packaging, placed on the desk in front of Director Yang. "Ah. Is this?" Director Yang's eyes lit up and he asked. "This is what the old leader asked me to deliver to you." Tang Xiangyang responded with a smile. "Okay, I've been thinking about this for many years. When I asked the old leader for a taste, I had to think for a while. He's such a stingy person, why did he give me so much in one go for you? You young man, your relationship with the old leader is not ordinary." Cough cough, Director Yang, you misunderstood. The old leader is not here for me. Oh. So why is he doing this? It's the old leader who's going to quit smoking and can't finish it all, that's why I brought it over to you. Tang Xiangyang smiled and told the truth, which made Director Yang's impression of Tang Xiangyang even better. He could see that Tang Xiangyang remembered the old leader well. You young man, no wonder the old leader likes you. Let's go, your file has already been in the personnel department. I'll take you to the safety department to recognize the door. Speaking, Director Yang walked out from behind the table and patted Tang Xiangyang's shoulder, saying. The two quickly arrived at the first floor. Director Yang pointed to the row of 6 rooms and said. This is the safety department. Immediately, Director Yang pushed open the door of the safety department and walked in. Tang Xiangyang followed behind and saw 5 people leisurely drinking tea and reading newspapers in the office. Occasionally exchanging a few words, it looks very comfortable. Is Director Yang here? Hello, Director Yang. The 5 people quickly put down their newspapers and stood up to greet Director Yang when they saw the person coming. Well, come here, let me introduce you to you. Director Yang was very satisfied with the attitude of these people and nodded, saying. The 5 people quickly approached and looked at Tang Xiangyang with curious eyes. The person next to me is Comrade Tang Xiangyang, the new head of the safety department in our factory. Comrade Tang, if you want to know about the situation in the factory, just ask them. Director Yang first introduced Tang Xiangyang's identity, and then introduced the 5 people to Tang Xiangyang. Tang Xiangyang looked at the 5 people. The appearance features are very obvious. Tall, short, chubby, and thin, plus a man with glasses. The tall one is Wang Chang, the short one is Sun Fu, the chubby one is Zhang Wu, and the skinny one is Su Quan. And this person wearing glasses is Huang Jiangwo. These 5 people are all team leaders. They, like you, have all returned to their place. Hello. Director Yang introduced that Tang Xiangyang shook hands with these people one by one. On the surface, it looks very harmonious, but in reality, there is competition within the mainland. Test each other's strength. The reason is that these people saw Tang Xiangyang as young and thought that he came in as a department head through connections. If Tang Xiangyang loses in the competition, these people will definitely not listen to him. But when both sides shook hands and engaged in a battle, those 5 people realized it. Previously, they underestimated this Chief Tang. Because no matter how hard they tried, Tang Xiangyang looked relaxed. Not only that, as long as Tang Xiangyang exerted a little force, they felt their hands were about to be crushed. After both sides let go, the 5 people's faces turned red. If it weren't for Director Yang watching from the side, these people would have grinned in pain long ago. At the same time, they were grateful in their hearts that they didn't mention sparring with each other. Otherwise, they won't be able to save face today. Thank you, Director Yang. I will inquire about the situation at the factory later. I need to go to the gatekeeper to pick up my luggage. As a newcomer, I don't have a place to stay, so I'll stay here tonight. Director Yang thought he had nothing to do and was just about to return to the office. Who would have thought Tang Xiangyang would say such a thing? Director Yang frowned slightly and felt something was wrong. He has knowledge of Tang Xiangyang's situation. When Tang Xiangyang was still on the road, his residence had already been arranged. But now he has to be in the factory. Once this matter is known by the old leader, it will definitely be harshly criticized. Comrade Xiangyang, this is not right. I have already arranged your house. You just came with a letter of introduction. Director Sun must have told you the location of the house. Are you not satisfied with that house? Director Yang asked in surprise. Oh, it's like this. Director Sun has indeed arranged for the house, but I went over and saw that there are people living in that house. And they have been living inside for 10 years, and I wanted to figure out the situation, but I was kicked out by the people in the courtyard as thieves. I think I have just returned to the local area and cannot have the same understanding as the masses. It will have a negative impact if it spreads. I couldn't find Director Sun when I went to find him. After thinking about it, I came to the factory to report. It's almost time to finish work. I'll make do with the night here tonight and then go find Director Sun tomorrow. Okay, tonight you'll have to apologize first. Tomorrow, I'll personally ask Director Sun what's going on. After hearing this, Director Yang said. Alright, tomorrow is a day off. You'll be staying here and getting familiar with the environment. You'll officially start work next Monday. After speaking, Director Yang turned around and left. Tang Xiangyang thanked Director Yang again. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 7. Inviting guests. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. In the office of the safety department of the steel rolling mill, Director Yang left, and Tang Xiangyang looked at the other 5 people in the office. These 5 people have roughly the same identity as him, all of whom have returned to their place. Looking at these 5 people gave Tang Xiangyang a sense of familiarity. Cough cough, brothers, since we have all just returned to our place, why don't we follow the old rules? Tang Xiangyang doesn't want these people to think that he came here through the back door, that's why I proposed it this way. Chief Tang, we just tried. Yes, Chief Tang, you are younger than us and your strength is still above ours. Let's not compare anymore. As soon as Tang Xiangyang's proposal was put forward, the 5 people refused with a bitter face. They don't want to find abuse for themselves. Okay, don't compare, don't compare. Are you all free tonight? I'm new here and I want to find a place to have a good meal. How many people together? Tang Xiangyang saw that these 5 people were unwilling to compete, and he didn't force them either. Ha ha ha, it's refreshing and fast. Tang Xiangyang's small move directly captured 5 team leaders. By the way, I just arrived and don't have any tickets. We need to find a place that doesn't require tickets. After a while, Tang Xiangyang remembered something and said, I know a place where the taste is good without tickets. Tang Xiangyang's words fell, and Captain Wang responded. Immediately, Captain Wang looked at the time and said, There is still some time before we finish work. Why don't I take Chief Tang to familiarize ourselves with the situation in the factory first? You 2 are staring at the door, 2 are going to the side door, remember not to cause any trouble. Okay, Captain Wang, let's go to the gate together when the matter is over. Everyone agreed and dispersed. Director Tang, do you think my arrangement is appropriate? After the other 4 people walked away, Captain Wang asked Tang Xiangyang. Look at the arrangement. Tang Xiangyang nodded in response. Director Tang, you have just arrived and are not familiar with the situation in the factory. There are many people in this factory who steal things during off-work hours. We are doing this to supervise and prevent potential problems. Captain Wang explained and took Tang Xiangyang around the factory area. Introduce various situations to Tang Xiangyang while walking. When the 2 of them walked out from the depths of the factory, the workers in the factory had also walked around. At the entrance of the factory, the other 4 team captains were already waiting. Let's go. Captain Wang greeted a group of 6 people. Guided by Captain Wang, he quickly arrived at a restaurant called Jianxi Canteen located on the same street as the steel rolling mill. As a traveler, Tang Xiangyang only glanced at the restaurant sign and showed no interest at all. He looked around and found a restaurant on the other end of the street. Although the names may differ, the styles are similar. Alas, it seems to be a unique style of this era. Tang Xiangyang was harboring resentment in his heart. Let's go, Chief Tang. Captain Wang saw Tang Xiangyang in a daze and spoke out as a reminder. Immediately, everyone walked into the restaurant. Tang Xiangyang looked around the hotel environment, with a few simple tables and chairs that looked relatively clean and tidy. What attracted Tang Xiangyang the most was that there was a wall across from him, warmly welcoming guests and not allowed to touch. The red paint was particularly eye-catching, leaving Tang Xiangyang speechless. In later generations, shop owners would treat customers as gods. I dare not even say a heavy sentence, let alone take action. I will be shut down by the guests every minute. A few people casually found a table to sit down. Chief Tang, take a look. What dishes are you ordering? Please treat according to your taste. After everyone sat down, Captain Wang smiled. You're making it difficult for me. Tang Xiangyang and Ben have no experience ordering dishes in this era. I don't know what people in this era like to eat. He thought for a moment and took out 15 yuan from his pocket, patting it on the table. 15 yuan, you can watch and eat whatever you want. Director Tang, you have too much of this, you can't finish it. The other few were startled by Tang Xiangyang's bold handwriting. Sun Fu was even more surprised and quickly said. It's okay, we can't finish eating and take it away. We won't waste it. Seeing Tang Xiangyang so straightforward made the impression of him on the other few people a bit better than before. Everyone exclaimed in their hearts, truly worthy of being Chief Tang. Alright, I'm all hungry. Everyone, hurry up and cook. Tang Xiangyang's words fell, and Wang Cheng immediately understood. Comrade Lao Yu, come out. Before Wang Cheng could finish speaking, a burly man in his 40s walked out of the kitchen. Ah! Captain Wang. Are you all free today? It is obvious that the middle-aged man and Captain Wang are old acquaintances. Say hello before meeting. Comrade Lao Yu, let me introduce you. This is Tang, the new head of our safety department. Today is Mr. Tang's treat. It's 15 yuan. You can watch the arrangement and have 4 bottles of Red Star Erguotu. Don't worry about wasting. Captain Wang first introduces Tang Xiangyang's identity and makes a request. Lao Yu immediately responded with a smile, "Okay, don't worry, Chief Tang. I promise to make sure you eat and drink well." After finishing speaking, Lao Yu ran into the kitchen. Quickly, waves of fragrance emanated from the kitchen. Comrade Yu's cooking skills are well known in this area, and Director Tang should give it a good try. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 8. Reminder to colleagues. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Yes, Chief Tang, this old man is an imperial chef and his craftsmanship is also passed down from his ancestors. Comrade Lao Yu's skills are much better than those of the chefs in the steel rolling mill, but unfortunately, it is precisely because of his ancestors' reasons that Lao Yu cannot enter the factory. Only one small shop can be opened here. Most of us have grown tired of the dishes in the factory and come here for a change. Captain Wang's words made Tang Xiangyang feel a surge of emotion in his heart. Class consciousness has existed since the founding of the country. The honest identity of a wealthy farmer and businessman dare not be publicized. On the contrary, it is the kind of 3 generations of poor farmers that can be considered a good ingredient. The reason why Tang Xiangyang joined the steel rolling mill as the head of the safety department after changing jobs is precisely for this reason. Okay, I'll try the royal chef's craft today. Tang Xiangyang nodded and smiled, and the other few also had smiles on their faces. After a while, Tang Xiangyang thought of something and asked several people. You just mentioned that the chef at the steel rolling mill is called Silly Zhu. He lives in the Red Star courtyard. Ah. Chief Tang, you just arrived, how could you know about Silly Pillar? Hearing the name of Silly Pillar from Tang Xiangyang's mouth surprised several people. The accommodation arranged for me by the factory is in the Red Star courtyard. Ah. Is Chief Tang so clever? Yeah, before I reported to the factory, I went to the courtyard. After my observation, I think there's something wrong with the people in this courtyard. Tang Xiangyang's words aroused the curiosity of several others. Wang Chang asked. After I went there, I found that my house was occupied by someone, and I'm sure I didn't find the wrong place. I learned through inquiry that my house has been occupied by someone for 10 years. I was still wondering why Director Yang would still give me the key to the house when it was already occupied. I haven't figured it out yet, but I was kicked out by the person in the courtyard as a thief. The people in that courtyard are quite united, working together to deal with me, an outsider. But I think something's wrong. Don't these people have any questions about my appearance? Tang Xiangyang recounted his experiences in the courtyard. The words fell, and the other few remained silent. It is obvious that they also feel something is wrong with this matter. How do I feel when I hear you say that? The unity of these people seems to have someone behind their backs, asking them to do so. After a moment, Wang Chang broke the silence and said. I just arrived and don't know much about the situation in the courtyard. I don't know how many of those people work in the factory. Many people think it's a good thing for neighbors living in the same courtyard to work together, but if someone uses this to do something shameful, the consequences. At this point, Tang Xiangyang stopped speaking. His words reminded several others. Huang Jiangwo, a man with glasses, said anxiously. Director Tang, you're right. If these people don't have any ghosts in their hearts, why don't they ask clearly and drive you out as a thief? Those people have been living in that courtyard for so many years, can they not understand the situation in the courtyard? The other few people also listened with great agreement. The normal process is not always to ask clearly first, but those people just don't ask anything and rush people directly, clearly feeling guilty. Cough, come on, everyone is hungry. Let's fill our stomachs first. Even if we guess, it's just a guess without any evidence. However, after this incident, I would like to remind everyone to pay extra attention to the people in that courtyard in the future. If any of those people have bad intentions, we can also take precautions in advance. Tang Xiangyang's words made the other few people nod repeatedly. And the reason why he said this is actually because he knows that someone in the courtyard wants everyone in the courtyard to listen to him. That person is preparing in advance for his retirement issues. Those people who drove Tang Xiangyang away together were instigated by Yi Zhonghai. After years of effort and influence from Yi Zhonghai, he holds a high position in the hearts of the people in the courtyard. The sudden appearance of a stranger by Tang Xiangyang shattered the atmosphere of the courtyard. Yi Zhonghai is worried about the young man's potential for change, which is why everyone is targeting him. If there were no check.In system, Tang Xiangyang would not have lived there at all. Find a different place to hide and be quiet. But unfortunately, that system must be in a courtyard to successfully clock in. It made Tang Xiangyang, who wanted to stay old in this era, very headache-inducing. Tang Xiangyang sighed lightly in his heart. He understood that from the moment the system was activated, he cannot control himself in all his actions. Otherwise, as a time traveler, he wouldn't be able to survive in this era. At this moment, the table is already filled with delicious dishes. Tang Xiangyang no longer thinks about these annoying things. Drinking and chatting with a few newly acquainted colleagues is not enjoyable. Due to everyone returning from their careers, during the conversation, they couldn't help but recall that passionate period of time. This quickly brought Tang Xiangyang closer to several others. Everyone drank until late at night. 4 bottles of Red Star Erguotu were drunk by a few people, just right. Tang Xiangyang is worried that these few people won't be able to work tomorrow if he drinks more. Pack the unfinished food, then pat 15 yuan on the table before leaving. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 9. All Becoming Pandas. You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. Office of the Chief of the Safety Department of the Steel Rolling Plant. Tang Xiangyang separated from the 5 and lay down on the bench in the office, planning for his future life. Currently, Tang Xiangyang is ranked as a department head, and he has also returned from a job transfer. The salary plus subsidy is 135 yuan. These money are nothing to future generations. But in the 1960s, this was a lot of money. Yi Zhonghai, a master in the Red Star Courtyard, is an 8th-level fitter with a salary of 90 yuan. The salary in a courtyard house is the highest. It is precisely because of this that Yi occupies the first place in the courtyard. At that time, prices were quite cheap, and many things didn't require money, but tickets. What kind of meat tickets, grain tickets, even cloth tickets, oil tickets, and all kinds of tickets are a bit. You need a ticket to buy anything. This is precisely the characteristic of the planned economy era. With the money in Tang Xiangyang's hands, if it weren't for the tickets, his daily life wouldn't be too comfortable. Because he has these every month. For him, who is alone, he can't finish eating at all. I want to live a good life and not want to be restricted. Tang Xiangyang remembered that in this era, there was a black market and a pigeon market in a corner of the city. The price of things bought in such places is relatively higher. These places are convenient but not safe. Until the 1980s, people doing business in these places were particularly careful. Because once caught, it can be a significant offense. Like some kind of speculative speculation, capital, and a few big hats off, it's simply unbearable. With Tang Xiangyang's current physical condition, as long as he thinks, he doesn't worry about being caught. But now he is the head of the safety department at the steel rolling mill. If caught accidentally, it will implicate the old leader and director Yang. So even if you want to go, you have to disguise yourself. Tang Xiangyang lay on the bench, calculating and unconsciously fell asleep. Early in the morning, Tang Xiangyang was still asleep when he was awakened by a familiar mechanical sound. Ding! Alarm, alarm, the system has detected that the host has exceeded the range of the courtyard house. Clock-in failed. Please return to the range as soon as possible, the system will automatically clock in. Sigh. After a series of warning sounds, Tang Xiangyang let out a long sigh. Is it that he doesn't want to clock in? He couldn't help it. Tang Xiangyang was thinking in his heart when the mechanical sound rang out again. Detected that the host is temporarily unable to clock in within the range, the clock-in will be automatically saved. Autosave. What's the point of this? Tang Xiangyang asked curiously. Please do not interrupt the host. It will automatically save and stack the check.in opportunities. The more times you stack them, the host will receive a surprise reward. Surprise rewards. Can the system reveal what rewards are available? Cannot. What Tang Xiangyang didn't expect was that the system would refuse to respond decisively. Detected that the host failed to clock in yesterday, the system has automatically stacked. Upon being reminded by the system, Tang Xiangyang suddenly remembered that his emotions had fluctuated too much yesterday and he had forgotten everything important. I neglected it the first time, but I won't do it again next time. The system apologizes. System. The high cold of the system made Tang Xiangyang feel a bit embarrassed. Fortunately, he was communicating with the system in his heart, only he knew, otherwise it would be even more awkward. After all this fuss, Tang Xiangyang's drowsiness completely disappeared. Just wake up, wash up, and have breakfast. It should be said that the taste of the food in the cafeteria of the steel rolling mill is not even worse than that of Comrade Lao Yu who cooked it last night. No wonder the 5 captains of the safety department will roast. After having a tasteless breakfast, Tang Xiangyang returned to the office. Drinking tea in a teapot and reading newspapers. It's too early, the steel rolling mill doesn't even work here. It's even less likely for the neighborhood committee to work. He remembers that he had already reported this matter to Director Yang yesterday. It is much better for a leader to communicate with Director Sun than for him to do so. Actually, Tang Xiangyang didn't know. Just last night, he and 5 team captains were building a cafeteria to taste delicious food. The 3 masters in the courtyard and the Jia family were on tenterhooks all night. Early in the morning, Silly Zhu woke up and walked out of the house. I happened to see the first and second masters walking over from the backyard. At first glance, it is evident that these 2 people are also preparing to go to work. Ah! Are you 2 gentlemen not sleeping well last night? Hee, what did the 2 gentlemen do last night? Let's talk about it. The reason why Silly Zhu is called Silly Zhu is because he speaks without thinking. No matter who you want to say, just say it. If it were someone else, they would have been scolded by now. Kushaju is the spare tire that an old man has long admired, so we can't cause any trouble. After the commotion, no one will provide him with retirement. So Yi Zhonghai gave Silly Zhu a glare and didn't speak. The second uncle next to him, Lu Haizhong, angrily scolded. Don't daydream, every doorkeeper on our lips is worried about one thing and stayed up all night. At this moment, Qin Huairu also walked over and stared at the black circles under her eyes. This appearance is no different from that of the first and second masters. Stupid Zhu looked bewildered. What situation is this? Who can tell him what these people did last night? I said, 1 grandpa and 2 grandpa, Huairu, did you guys fight in a group last night, specifically hitting people's eyes? Qinming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 10. Being publicly reprimanded. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Third Master Yen Bugue has also walked over from the former courtyard now. Seeing a group of people gathered together, he asked. How's he doing, Grandpa? Have you come up with a solution? Silly Zhu turned his head and saw, oh my goodness, another giant panda. I said you shouldn't really be fighting in a group, right? Alright, silly pillar, don't daydream. We just didn't sleep well last night. Okay, Grandpa, it's none of my business. I'll go to work now. Seeing no one willing to talk to him, Silly Zhu greeted him and walked out of the courtyard without looking back. Just as I passed by Qin Huiru, I glanced at her. Huiru, if you have any difficulties, please let me know. I'm at work now. Silly Zhu is really good at licking the dog. Still pretending to be sentimental, thinking that Qin Huiru meant something to him. Little did they know that Qin Huiru was just using him. As Silly Pillar walked away, the second grandpa said with a worried expression. You should say something to him, Grandpa. Have you come up with a solution? That person hasn't even shown a face since yesterday. The second uncle fell silent, and the few people present had not yet had a chance to respond. Another sharp and piercing sound sounded. Humph, that person must be scared. He has been dealt with by so many of us and dare not show his face. Everyone saw that it was Jia Zhang. Jia Zhangshi has no worries from yesterday. The attitude remains arrogant. It seems that it wasn't her who did the wrong thing. Don't say it, if it's really like what you said, that person won't dare to show up, will save a lot of trouble. I'm telling you that person is not simple. Even up there, one of his homeowners was taken by someone who had taken his house and joined forces with others to drive them away. Once this matter is exposed, none of us will do well. Oh my, he's an old man. He hasn't even dared to show his face yet. He must be fine now. If he dares to come back again, I will gather everyone to drive them out, and then the house will really belong to us. Jia Zhang's calculation was very loud. The few people present didn't know what to say. Okay, I only found out today that the people in your Red Star courtyard are actually like this. Everyone in the joint courtyard is occupying someone else's house and not giving it to them, even rushing people. Let the Jia family live in that house for 10 years. I don't know, the power of your 3 officials has surpassed that of the neighborhood committee and the steel rolling mill. A sudden sound sounded outside the courtyard. Several people turned around at the same time and saw that the person coming was Director Sun from the neighborhood committee. Director Sun looked angry as he watched several people scold him. If it weren't for Director Yang calling me this morning and telling me what happened yesterday, I wouldn't have known you guys were bullying me like this. Comrade Tang has just transferred to a local job and was bullied by you. He slept in the office all night last night. Not only do you not know how to repent, but you also want to continue driving people away. Are you trying to stir up a big trouble? As soon as everyone saw Director Sun approaching, their faces immediately changed. Second Grandpa Lu Haizhong was afraid that this matter would involve him, so he quickly leaned in. Director Sun, this matter has nothing to do with me. It's all his Yi Zhonghai and Jia family. We didn't do anything. Director Sun felt a wave of disdain when he saw that the second uncle was eager to distance himself from this matter. Lu Haizhong, others don't know your status in this courtyard, do I still not know? This backyard is under your management. His Jiao family has lived in that house for 10 years, and if you don't know, it's nothing to do with it, right? Are you fooling ghosts? And you, Mr. Yen Bugue, you can't be unaware of what's happening in this courtyard. Even if this backyard is not under your jurisdiction, can't you report it to the neighborhood committee? This has been 10 years. Are you still a teacher for the people? Is there anyone like you who can be a role model? And you, Yi Zhonghai, are just a steward with only management authority. That house belongs to the public, why do you let people live in it? Jia family, listen carefully, I urge you to move out of the house immediately. Comrade Tang Xiangyang is very angry about this matter, and I still need to go and comfort him. Director Sun spoke so much in one breath, glaring angrily at everyone. The 3 masters were scolded with red faces and red ears. As for the Jia family and the Jia Zhang family, they dared not talk back to Director Sun and could only lower their heads to pretend not to hear. Listen up, the three of you. I will definitely report this matter. You wait for it to be dealt with. After saying these words, Director Sun left angrily. The other people in the courtyard had already seen Director Sun's arrival and gathered around. So just now, Director Sun's reprimand to the three gentlemen was clearly heard by everyone. They only then realized that the person they drove out yesterday as a thief was the homeowner. Isn't that right? That person is so young and is already the homeowner. How could it be impossible? Didn't you hear what Director Sun said? But back then, it was the three masters who said that the house was allocated to the Jia family by the neighborhood committee. Why did it suddenly become someone else's at this moment? Oh, there's nothing else I don't understand. It's the three gentlemen lying. TSK, I didn't expect them to do such a thing. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th.